Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we got Brandon,
Oh,
and we were talking about games and things.
games and things.
I don't know. Lots of random stuff this week, it looks like.
Yeah, you told me you
Um,
got random shit to talk about. I want to hear about it.
it is very random. Actually, one thing is really new.
Okay,
And then the other thing is very old.
okay.
So yeah. So we'll
I
go.
made my list of like my favorite games of all time, but like I then wanted to keep adding to it. Can I?
I mean, I guess so. I don't see why you
Cool,
can't. Have like
cool.
runners up or whatever, however you want to do it. I don't care.
I told you I wasn't gonna like number them. It's just I want to talk
Mhm.
about them. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I would say though, like I said on
a
the
little
chat.
spoiler for an upcoming episode.
Yeah. Um, but y'all better not pull any compilation bullshit because I'll call that shit right out.
So can I
So,
ask? I'm gonna ask this right now. Fuck it. I'm
yeah.
gonna ask it on this one because we ain't. We're kind of we're shooting from the hip this episode. No one really gives a fuck right now. Can I include an entire franchise?
You can do whatever you want. I'll still call it out because I'll be like,
It's not a compilation. I'm literally just gonna say I liked 1, 2, and 3. Like that's really all it is, and I'm gonna combine them all together because they're all essentially the same game. Just you know, yeah,
bullshit.
they are.
I'm just telling you, it's bullshit.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
unless you count, because if we're making a list of 10 things,
Mhm.
then just to kind of stick three together is cheating. So, if I had to make tough cuts, then you should have to make tough
All right,
cuts.
fuck it. All right, fuck it.
Mhm. That's what I
Who's
thought.
the best?
If you want to do it, if you want to throw all three in there, you can. I'll just call out bullshit. That's
All
all.
right.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, you ready to get into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll talk about my random shit first.
Sounds
Just
good.
one of.
Gives me time to snack on some sandwich.
Yeah. So, my first random bullshit is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete came out yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I downloaded that. Actually, I did play the previous one, but
Hmm.
I barely touched it. I think I've already put more time into this complete version than I have like the
It's like
actual
ten
one.
bucks, right?
It's on sale for $10 right now.
Hmm.
Um, so that's kind of the limited time introductory price. I think it goes through the end of January, or at least through the end of this month. So,
So I don't have enough
um,
information on this, so I guess I have to ask this: Is it
yeah,
still a phone game only, or is it also on Switch?
still a phone game only.
Okay.
So, and it's still kind of the same general idea. Like I don't think they changed anything like major in that regard. They just kind of took out some of like the money hooks,
I
really.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. But it all seems to work really well. I don't remember what like the big money time hook was
Hmm.
previously, but I was thinking about it as I was driving. I was like, you know what though? In the grand scheme of games that get converted to mobile and they put those kind of arbitrary time things on, if there's any
Hmm.
series that it makes reasonable sense for, it's Animal Crossing. Because Animal Crossing is, I mean, even in the
It's
normal
Animal
game,
Crossing.
yeah, that's part of the game. You're playing in real time. So when things are like I went to go build something yesterday and I was like, this thing takes 12 hours to build. Okay, that's fine. Seems reasonable.
I'll come back
Um,
later. See you
yeah,
later.
exactly. But there's enough different the way it's broken up, you're kind of like, I don't know, in a camping site, and it's got all these different places that you can go visit in there.
Yeah.
So they're like one is a beach thing, one's like an actual campsite, one is like a site where you can go in and get your like RV redecorated. So you
Hmm.
got lots of different like customization options you can go through, and you can decorate uh your campsite. You can put things down that you've
Yeah.
ear- earned or collected, and kind of decorate them that way. The seasonal activities that are there, like I can't remember what the horses, or not the horses, the reindeer's name is, but he's back and he's like, hey, I got ornaments. You can use them to get, Christmas stuff. So they have all that stuff going on still. Um,
So it's just like the normal game, but it's no longer microtransactionified.
yeah, exactly. Mhm.
Okay, I mean that sounds like a good conversion,
Yeah.
especially for the people that wanted to play that game still.
Yeah, and there are still, some kind of remainders of that hook, like the time limits, like those. But like I said, those things are not necessarily unreasonable considering that's how Animal Crossing was. Anyways, the game played in real time,
Hmm.
so that kind of things there, and some of the other currency things, at least from what I played yesterday, seem like they're super achievable and easy to get. So I don't know if that will kind of maintain for long term because obviously, with those kind of mobile games, anyways, they try to give you a lot of shit up front, so you're more inclined to like cave later and buy things. But at least from what I can see, I'm accumulating things at a much faster clip than I would expect. So yeah, it honestly seems real fun. You could see different villagers. You can invite them to your campsite. They can camp out. You can do little um tasks for them. They'll be like, oh, I want this thing or that thing. Um, like I want 3 peaches. Well, okay, well now you got to go find a peach tree or wait for one to spawn, or you can get one from other people. So yeah, all those sorts of options. Um, yeah, it just seems like there's a lot going on there. So I did really enjoy what I played of it so far. It looks really nice. It plays really nice. Um, and yeah, it just seems like it has a lot of options. It brings back a lot of features that even the main game had to kind of like crafting. Like you can get different things like wood or whatever, and you can use them as crafting supplies. You can design different things, lots of furniture options. So those are all there, and there's a lot to unlock still too. Like I have something that looks like Happy Home Academy is still locked 'cause I'm not a high enough level yet. They do still kind of have some level gates on things. Um, and then they also have some other like mechanics too, like you level up your relationships with, the villagers, and those kind of help, guide, kind of different things that you can get that way too. So, yeah, at least so far, I would say seems really fun. Actually, this kind of, in terms of the mobile games, this one seems like it is very much representative of the franchise, I would say.
Hmm.
And it's unique, but not a replacement for the original. So kind of a nice fun thing to kind of pick up and play for, maybe 15, 30 minutes, while you're traveling around and you got your phone and that's, all you got game wise. Um, but not, it's that you're not going to sink like hours upon hours on it, like you might say with like the Switch version of the game, because you got a whole island or whatever to decorate. So yeah, so it definitely is different scale, but I think it's good scale. So I really like it from what I played so far. And like I said, the introductory price, $10 is great. It does give you the option to carry over stuff from your if you played the like the previous mobile game, you can carry
Hmm.
over your save data, which we talked about
Oh, that's
previously.
great.
Yeah, which I thought that was awesome for the people because I mean this game came out years ago at this point. So for the people who've been playing it for years, it's great. You're not losing your stuff. You still have access to it, and you can still keep playing it without those kind of limitations that maybe you had before. So yeah, very very happy with what little I've played of it so far. So I like it. Any
That sounds
questions on
awesome. Like honestly, I'm very happy. Like, yeah, okay, so let's be real.
it?
When it comes to Nintendo,
Hmm.
they're not exactly known for being the most uh consumer friendly.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's pretty well known. And the fact that this is seeming at least very consumer friendly, I'm proud of them. Like credit due, credit when it is due, and I do think credit is due when it comes to something like this.
Oh,
Because
I
I
think
mean,
it's
it's
good.
not just the fact that it's like you can continue to play this game, it's the
Hmm.
fact that you can carry over your save data. And I'm sure people may have spent some of the currency on that save data, on
Oh
their when they played it in when it was a free to play game, and
yeah.
being able to carry over that data to the paid version of the game just seems like a great way of being able to like support those people. I think that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I think this is actually I honestly almost unprecedented. Like I feel like in the industry, I think it was just a very nice gesture for the people that put all that time into it.
Hmm.
If you think about it, people probably put hundreds of hours into it, and
Absolutely.
who knows how much dollars into the free to play game.
Hmm.
So with them kind of being like, hey, we don't really want to support this anymore, instead of just letting those people out to dry, giving them kind of like, hey, we're gonna let you enjoy what you've already put into it.
Hmm.
I think that's awesome. So hopefully, in the future when they have more games transitioning, hopefully they do more of that kind of stuff. So because you think about stuff like Dr. Mario probably would have been a great game to transition like this equally.
Oh yeah,
Although
definitely.
although probably not as much. Obviously, people probably weren't as worried about their carryover data in that one, but just to be able to be like, hey, we invested all this money into this game instead of losing it. Let's just make it free to play. So
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. So hopefully they do it with other stuff as it kind of whittles down in time, like another good game. Actually, I think probably Mario Kart and Fire Emblem, probably respectively, would both be reasonable series to do
I
something similar with.
I think Mario Kart is the one that definitely needs to have that happen.
Hmm. Yeah, they've already started kind of pulling out some of the gotcha stuff that they had.
Hmm.
So hopefully, hopefully that gives them the at least the kind of foothold to finish doing the rest of the stuff. So, yeah. So, any other questions, or any other thoughts?
Um, no, actually, I'm just kind of impressed with Nintendo for once. That's
Yeah.
all. That's my only thought really here.
Okay. Yeah. And then my other kind of random thing that I had in there. So I went back to StarCraft 2. I was like, I'm like, I want to try something. I want to try a
Really?
game on my PC or my Mac, I guess, my new
Hmm.
Mac. So I was like, well, what do I have that's available that I have like on the system? And I had that. So I booted that up. And because I was like, well, and then this was also, Black Friday weekend. So they also had some deals on some things. And I saw that they had the DLC for Nova available. I never played that when that came out. They did like a 9 mission pack with
Oh.
Nova, kind of taking place after that main story. And I was like, okay, that would be kind of cool. Um, so I did spend some time with it, although most of the time that I spent with the game was tech support. So I had lots of issues.
Oh, that
So
sucks.
yeah, honestly, I would say game runs when I how do I put this? So the game, just based on my specs alone, specs out my computer like higher than it probably wants to run StarCraft.
Hmm.
Um, so I had to kind of actually like downset it because it was trying to run it at a frame like the settings it was trying to run it. I was getting like a frame rate of like 17, and I was like, that's not useful. Um, so I did that and kind of turned down the settings, and it makes sense. This new architecture because it's using the Apple chips instead of anything else. So it's a different architecture than what it was built for. So I think that's some of the issues.
Hmm.
Um, that was one thing. The other issue I ran into was a save issue that took me probably 2 hours to resolve, and that was really fucking annoying. So apparently, the game when you like install it on Macs now, um, will install it into a directory where like the directory settings are not set to read and write; they're set to read only. So when you go to save, it's like save failed, and when I explain it like that, it makes it sound like it's really easy to fix because it's like, oh, just go change the folder to read and write. That's all you do at the end of the day is change the folder to the read and write. Problem is, though, I had like 10 different folders that seemed similar, and everyone's like, oh, change this folder, change this folder, change this folder, change this folder. So I was going through like all these different directories trying to find like every Blizzard directory in my computer and had finally found the right one and switched it, and then that finally did the trick. Um, but that was a pain in the butt. So if anyone is trying to play StarCraft 2 on a Mac and runs into that issue, that's the problem. You need to find the correct folder that needs to be adjusted to read and write. And there are multiple folders, but you need to find the right one. So
Man, why is Max so difficult to?
Mac is not difficult. That's the thing. It's not difficult. This is a fluke, and I don't know why this happened. It's a known issue, and it's been known for years. But because they stopped like doing any like major patches for the game, it's basically an unknown, not fixed bug at this point. So, yeah. So thankfully, there's enough people that ran into it that I was able to troubleshoot the issue. But yeah, no pain in the butt. Most Mac things are so like simple. It's just drag and drop and good to go. Um, this is what I was like trying all these different things, and then I was like deleting folders and reinstalling folders, and then I deleted the whole thing, and then I reinstalled the whole thing, and yeah, it was a big mess. So,
Okay.
but the game itself, uh, once I was finally able to play it, it ran pretty nice. So it's nice to be back in StarCraft again. It's been a while. So and I kind of forgot about all the things that had kind of gone on in that time. From what I had kind of like anecdotally read, I guess this mission pack actually has like a really nice story, and it's more in line with the kind of maps and things you would expect from original StarCraft.
Hmm.
So And at least from the two missions that I played, that's pretty much what I would say. Um,
Hmm.
First mission was kind of one of those ones where it's kind of like a set stage, and you're kind of exploring it as like a single unit, and you can kind of do different things like that. Kind of one of those more exploratory stages. The second one was a more traditional kind of battle thing where it's like, oh, you got to protect this base, but the Zerg are on the way, so these are the units that you have to kind of take care of them and do what you can. So yeah,
Okay.
that was pretty fun. Yeah, so I liked all that, and that worked pretty well. So listen, let's just be back to StarCraft again because it's been so long and it kind of makes me want to play more. But I was just kind of, as I was looking through all this, I saw some of the people talking about multiplayer, and I'm like, that sounds like a shithole. I'm like, not trying that. I'm like, I'm fine with single player and bots if I'm going to go anywhere in there.
Hmm.
But um, yeah, it's kind of nice to see all that. Actually, kind of side note too, I did see, for anyone that's interested in Warcraft 1 and 2, I did see that Blizzard's pulling them off of Good Old Games. But Good Old Games is offering them at a discount right now. And basically, if you buy them before they're delisted, they're like, we'll give you a lifetime support on this game. So I was like, oh.
Yep.
That I thought was kind of nice. So that's what they're known for. So
It's their new what's the word I'm looking for? They have like a new program essentially where they've said that they will do lifetime support for any game that they put up on their site as their way of oh goodness, why is my brain not working? Uh, Archiving as well as preserving games
mhm.
so that people can play them no matter what system they're on and whatever.
Mhm.
So they're essentially trying to start a whole initiate. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Okay, they're launching a campaign for
Mhm.
preserving games. That's essentially what it is.
That's
And
good.
this is one of the first ones in the list because fuck you Blizzard for trying to take it away. That's essentially what they said.
Yeah, might as well. So yeah, but I thought that was great. So I never played. No, I did play one of them. I don't
I
remember.
played Frozen Throne. Frozen Throne was my fucking. That was my shit, man.
Yeah, a lot of people really dug that one. So, but that Frozen Throne was Warcraft 3 though, right?
It sure was. Yep.
Yeah, and this Good Old Games I think was specifically 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Three is my shit. Is what I'm saying. That's what I played when it came
Oh,
to Warcraft. Anytime before World of Warcraft, because obviously I played World of Warcraft. But yeah.
mhm. Uh, and I think that's all my random shit for now. I think I had something else. Uh,
Okay. Let's think about it.
I know I don't remember what it was. Honestly, it was any if it was anything, it's probably. Oh, I know what it was. I'll talk about it next week. Not
Oh, okay.
not last thing. I'll save something for next week just in case I need something to play or to talk about. So, because it's very random.
Okay.
So, which I mean, I guess falls into the category of random shit, but
Yeah.
not.
Think about it.
Yeah,
That falls exactly in that category.
yeah. So there just might be more random shit next week. So,
Okay.
yeah. What have you been playing?
I have been playing the new season of Fortnite, which I'm going to start with. Fortnite launched its new season. Its new season is themed after Japanese mythology and Japanese just in general. Um, it's been really good so far. Like really, really good. The new map is a lot of fun. They have like bosses now in the new
Mhm.
map, and these bosses are like, I hate using this terminology, but it does have like the dodge rolling, the iframes, the yada 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 that you have to dodge, and it has multiple health bars and different phases of the bosses,
Mhm.
making it akin to something like an action RPG, like a specific kind of action RPG, but it's not as difficult as that action RPG. So we're just gonna go with, it's they got some pretty big, strong bosses that you can fight, and they drop really cool loot, and they're very fun to fight, and it kind
Okay.
of changes the tide of the world. I'm trying my best, and I'm not going to say Dark Souls, but they definitely did a lot of things that made it feel like that. But it's way easier. Obviously, it's not hard at all. Yeah, and the new world is actually really cool. They got Big Hero 6. I think that's what it was. The Disney movie. We
Oh
got
yeah,
that
yeah.
in there. Yeah, we got Big Hero 6 in this season. It's very random, I guess, but hey, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah.
He's an unlockable character, and then the big one, Godzilla.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Does it let you play as Godzilla?
Yes,
Okay.
with a gun.
Okay. He's like
Okay,
normal sized?
sort of.
Okay. I mean, that's cool, I guess.
So essentially, there's going to be, and hasn't happened yet, and also no one's able to play as Godzilla yet, but he is in the battle pass, and you can see him. You can already see that you
Hmm.
can unlock him eventually.
Yeah.
So he's the size of normal characters, the one you can play as. But also, there's going to be a giant one roaming the map
Uh-huh.
that is a boss similar to the other bosses I just mentioned. So,
Okay.
but yeah, some people have like tested what Godzilla can have and everything, and people put like Nike shoes on Godzilla in Fortnite.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, it's funny. Anyway,
What is?
this season's good. I like this season a lot. It should be really fun. I want to move on though. I want to talk about Silent Hill 2.
Okay. Talk about
I'm
Silent Hill too.
I'm going to. So me and Katie for several weeks have been playing through Silent Hill 2 remake,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right now. I don't think I could have ever been more wrong about a game than this one.
Really?
The amount of little touches in this game that are just harkening back to other things from the original Silent Hill, and the
Hmm.
amount of details that are in this game that really are there for like the people that have been through the entire franchise and seen lots of different things that have to do with it. There's so many little touches in this game that is just absolutely incredible. And like there's a lot of attention to detail that makes it feel like the developers really, really, really gave a damn about the entire series. And I'm super happy about that. I'm at the literal standing outside the final boss's like door right now with Katie. So she just got the big reveal. And
Hmm.
I mean, this is a 20-year-old game. Should I say it? Because it's also a 2024 game. So
I
that's
probably
kind of
wouldn't
weird.
spoil it, I
All
would
right,
say.
so the huge twist, which I'm not going to say, just happened, and Katie was kind of very shocked, and
Hmm.
I was just sitting there like, yeah, that was always going to happen from the beginning of the game. There's nothing you can do. This is just kind of that's the plot line. There
Yeah.
are different endings that you can get, but they all come down to that twist is what actually happened, and there's nothing you could do to change that twist.
Hmm.
And if you know what that twist is, and it's pretty fucking crazy. And I think, like sitting down and playing through this entire game with her, that I have realized that they nailed the atmosphere and the world building as well as the combat, even though it's a completely different combat system. And the reasons for that is whereas like in Silent Hill 2 on PS2, you know, whatever, Xbox, what have you, the original one from 20 years ago, in that game, you had fixed camera perspective and you also had like lock on. Um, and because of the fixed camera perspective, it made it a lot like very tense. You know, you felt like everything was shot in a way that was made to feel you like really scared and like really on edge. And the combat in this game, um, whereas you can miss, and if you miss or panic while like fighting enemies in this game, they will jump you. They will come out of nowhere. You will be absolutely ganged up on by so many different enemies, and they will kill you. They will kill you dead very quickly. And I think that element where you can miss, where things are very wiggly and whatnot, so it makes it harder for you to aim because you're not a SEAL Team 6 or a CIA agent like Leon Kennedy or whatever, you know, Chris Redfield, not the Resident Evil guys, and you're just some dude with a gun. The third person aiming where you're like shaking while you're trying to fire the gun and you're not really like straight on and you're not going to get attachments or anything for your weapons, it really does make you feel like you are just some dude having to fight these horrible fucking things. And they have done a great job with the combat, so much so that they have been able to translate the combat to feeling essentially like the original,
Uh-huh.
uh, without doing the exact same thing. And I'm very impressed with that.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it sounds like they did a really good job with this from everything you've been saying.
Yes. I've been saying a lot that I'm very happy with this game. And I really do think that like this might be in like my top 3 or 5, and I can't decide which one yet, but it's definitely on the top of my list for games that came out this year. I just haven't decided where it is yet because I think there were a lot of good games that came out this year. So I it's so close though. It really is. I'm thinking that like when I look back on this game like a few years from now or whatever, I
Hmm.
am really going to be like, damn, that was something special. I think after I've had time to go back through and play more runs and like kind of do like the speed running thing like I used to do with like the original, where you got
Hmm.
like because they had it built into the original game where like you got like rankings based on how fast you completed it or whatever, that sort of thing. And you unlock different weapons and stuff. And I think as I see more things and more people approach this game from a different perspective and more things are learned about it, I do think this is going to be one of those games that's very special for like this generation.
That's
Just
good.
like the
Hopefully
original
it lives
was.
up to it. Yeah. Hopefully it lives up to it in the grand scheme of time. So, sometimes I think we have these ones, these remakes or re-releases where they're great when you set into them at first, and then after
Yeah.
time kind of sets on, they just don't quite, you know, there's some issues here or there that just they're like, well, the original one kind of beats it in this regard or that regard or
And
whatever.
I totally get that too. Like I'm not gonna say that like I'm biased. I'm not going to say that this is better than the original. I
Uh-huh.
can't do that. In 2024, I can't say anything is better than an original game that came out forever ago because of my nostalgia goggles, and also just because I don't feel right saying that.
Yeah.
But I will 100% say that they understood the assignment and they damn near perfected it, if not perfected it. And I need some more time with it before like deciding that, but I do feel like that this will be looked back on very fondly in the future.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, I saw Nick got it for a screaming good deal.
He got it for $30, and I'm so happy that he did. I really want him to play through it. I
Yeah.
really want to hear his thoughts, and I really want to come back for Game of the Year later on next year and have him be like, "Oh yeah, that shit was fucking awesome." That's what I'm really hoping happens because honestly, I mean, I'm very happy with it. I think more so than most games I played this year, I'm very happy with that. I think the only other few that obviously I've already talked about before are like Balatro. You already
Uh-huh.
know that. You know how I feel about that game.
Yeah.
Um, and Stellar Blade. I really liked Stellar Blade. I played that game a shit ton,
Hmm.
as well as Astrobot. And it's fighting with some heavy contenders up there, but it's really up there. So I'm very happy, and I
Yeah.
really hope they do DLC. Like, cause so the original Silent Hill 2, it had a side story. When you beat the game, you got to play through this side story that explained some of the elements of the game that you were left out of the loop of,
Hmm.
and it was like Born from a Wish is what I believe the side story was called, and that was something you got when you finished the game, and that's not in this, but there is content that shows that it should be in this, like cutting room floor kind of content. So
Hmm.
a lot of people are theorizing that there might be some DLC for this in the future, and I'm hoping there is.
Yeah. Hopefully it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's really all I got to talk about. I really enjoyed that game. I do kind of want to like uh, yap for a little bit, if you don't mind,
Hmm. Sure.
because they did release the player choice vote for the Game Awards. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so they released the nominees for Player's Choice, and I'll read them because some of them are overlapping, but some of them absolutely do not, and there's some weird picks here. So I'm
Okay. Of
gonna pull them up real quick if you don't mind.
course.
Player's voice. All right, here we go. So Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, Helldivers 2, League of Legends, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantasio, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, No Man's Sky, Pow World, Persona 3 Reload, Sinuous Saga Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Stellar Blade, Withering Waves, Valorant, Warframe, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and Zenless Zone Zero. Those are the nominees, and this is 100% fan voted, so only the fans vote for this one. And it's essentially like this is a lot of people consider this to be whatever the real game of the year is, essentially, because 90% is done by outlets when it comes to the game awards, but here it's 100% fan voted. So fans have a voice essentially, and it's like a round robin. Like we're on round 1 right now, so you have all of those, but the ones that are going to get the least amount of votes out of all of those will be dropped for round 2. And then at the end, we'll have the ones that have the most votes out of everything, and that'll be the top 10, and then people vote on that, and then whatever one gets the most out of all those wins.
Okay.
Out of this, I do think we'll see some of the black sheep in here. I do think Silent Hill 2 will move on. I think Stellar Blade will move on. I think Persona 3 Reload will move on. I think Infinite Wealth will move on. I think Space Marine 2 will move on. I think a lot of those games I just named will make it to at least the second and maybe even third vote, because I saw a lot of people upset that those games were not in the running for Game of the Year, specifically Stellar Blade and Silent Hill 2.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, I do think those two will probably go all the way to the ending out of everything else that's here. I fully see all the way at the end will be Silent Hill 2 Remake and Stellar Blade. I do think those will go all the way. Do I think either one of them will win? Possibly Stellar Blade could win. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it got snubbed so hard in the actual Game of the Year voting. It only got like one category. And I know a lot of people are like, this is bullshit. This should have been in more categories. It should have been in Game of the Year. A lot of people think Silent Hill 2 and Stellar Blade should have been there instead of Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. And I kind of agree in a sense. But if we were like dropping the DLC, those are the two I would replace it with. One of those two. So, okay. Yeah. So I do think they are going to make it all the way to the end. And I'm kind of excited to see what happens here, because I do think this is going to be a really interesting fan vote. Probably more so than all the rest, because there is so much controversy with the official nominees for Game of the Year right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. When did you say that they were going to have the next step?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No, I could just look. It should say it right here. Player's voice. Next step is tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be round 2.
Okay, so it's gonna move pretty reasonably fast paced. That's kind of, when is the Game Awards? Is it this week or next week?
That is the 12th, December 12th.
Yeah, so that's coming up wildly fast too.
Mm-hmm. That is next week on Thursday.
Yeah.
I will talk about one other thing. Sony put out their PlayStation 30th anniversary video. Have you seen this?
No.
I'd say it's a decent video first and foremost, but they did they front ended it a lot with like PlayStation 4, PS5 games, and I don't really care about that. But there are some PS1 and PS2 games mixed in there that I was like, all right, that's awesome. I like that. I like seeing that. I like seeing your Ratchet and Clanks, your Jack and Dexters, your Killzone, your Resistance, Fall of Man. I like seeing all of those in there, which is pretty neat. But I feel like Sony's just trolling people at this point, because the final scene of the video, because they did a bunch of flashing compilations of showing a bunch of different games, and it was like it had a one word thing for all of them, so it was like, it's about adventure, and then you see Nathan Drake and Uncharted 4 and Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 2, and it does that sort of thing. So they did a little one word thing for each one of them. And then you got to the end, and it said it's about persistence. Okay. And the final fucking frame of the video, that we saw with games in it, had goddamn Bloodborne in it. It was so bad. I was so mad that they chose the word persistent for Bloodborne. Like, yeah, you motherfuckers, you're just trolling us at this point. Because there have been people very persistently trying to get a remake or a remaster or whatever of that game. Or even just a 60 FPS patch. People are fucking fiending for that game.
Yeah.
And to make the final clip in the video, it was pretty trolly of Sony to do that. And I think the thing that makes it even better is we have not seen Sony reference Bloodborne since its DLC released. So when I say that, I mean like in any form of ad campaign whatsoever. We have seen nothing to do with Bloodborne since the Old Hunters DLC in like 2015 almost, or 2017, somewhere in there. Anyway, it's been a long fucking time since Sony was like, yeah, that game exists. Obviously,
Yeah.
Astrobot had a whole bunch of different costumes and everything, and Bloodborne was part of that. But as an actual like ad campaign where they were like, oh yeah, we remember we made that game, this was the first one in like fucking 8 years that they've even referenced Bloodborne existing. And everyone was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna huff that copia. We're gonna get an announcement for a remaster next week." And I'm just sitting here like, I've given up. I don't think it'll happen, but I might cry if it does.
I'd say it seems very wishful, but especially because there's that rumor that they're remaking Dark Souls 3. I feel like you probably only get, at least right now, one or the other. But who knows? Who knows what kind of time frame they'd be looking at?
So apparently, FromSoft is currently working on 5 different games.
So it's
don't know what they are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it's possible, with there being 5 that are currently being worked on. So
yeah,
but it's also Sony, and it's also Bloodborne. And if you're a fan of Bloodborne, you know not to believe anything is going to ever happen to Bloodborne.
Fair.
Sony has left Bloodborne alone so much and for so long that the community actually ported Bloodborne to PC and made it work at 60 and 120 FPS before Sony even acknowledged its existence.
Oh, wow.
So, there's that. But I love Bloodborne. Bloodborne is probably one of my favorite games of all time.
I know you love that game. You do love that one a lot.
I love that game. I love that game. It means a lot to me. I would really, really like if it got a remaster or a remake or even just a 60 FPS patch. Any of those I would take.
I'm sure it will at some point. Question is, how long are they going to make you wait for it? That's I think the big question at the end of the day. Exactly.
So yeah, that's all I really have to say about that stuff. There is one other thing, I guess, about the 30th anniversary. If you have a PS5 and you turn it on right now, it plays the original PlayStation 1 boot up screen with the sound and everything.
I love it. That's awesome.
So cool. I love it.
I kind of like that a lot of companies are kind of coming back to that kind of thing. So, I don't remember what it was.
This is limited time for their 30th anniversary.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I wish it was I wish it was forever. It's so cool.
I would say Apple went back and switched their Mac stuff to like the old school kind of startup noise. I don't remember when, but they kind of just left it there. They're just kind of like, yep, here it is. Here's the old one back. Everyone wanted it. So it does kind of the same old boot up noises that my old desktop used to do, which I thought was kind of cool. It's nice when they do those, because those little touches really don't cost you anything, and they're just kind of nice fan service. So yeah.
Yep. So if there's one thing I love, it's PlayStation 1 and PS2. If there's one thing I hate, it's current Sony. It's simple as that.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get more old Sony.
And please, dear God, give us more old Sony. I would be so happy.
Hey, maybe it's in the pipeline.
But other than those two things I've just mentioned, like nothing was done for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising. A lot of people thought there was going to be like a state of play or
showcase. Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't get anything.
Got nothing.
I mean, not that you necessarily need to.
I mean, 30th is a pretty big deal when it comes to your anniversary, Like, yeah, they did a really cool thing with the boot up screen and all but maybe just like something else, like show maybe do like a video going over the history that's not just a minute long, as a commercial.
Mhm.
Maybe something,
Yeah, doesn't have to be anything too terribly wild, but just
Mhm.
kind of nice to have a little thing here and there. I mean, think about comparatively what Nintendo did for like some of their franchise 30th anniversaries. Like what was it, Mario? I think that was with
Mario
I think
with
Mario
the
got the All
the
Stars.
battle royale also, which they killed
Oh yeah.
off.
hmm
Yeah,
The Battle Royale, I forgot about that.
the
That was
three releases of Sunshine and 64 and Galaxy.
Galaxy.
We have
Yep,
that.
and
Like these are
3DS.
actual things you do. Like all you got to do is be like, yo, here's a compilation of a bunch of PlayStation 1 games that you can play, and there you go. Like I see that they have a bunch for sale, but they didn't add any new ones. So it's like it's just the ones that have always been there. But it's like, bro, like give us some more. Like come on. I want more PS2 games on my PS5. I don't want to just I would like to give you money for better versions of PS2 games on a current system in 4K HD. Can I do that? No. What the fuck is wrong with you? Let me do that. Like, come
No,
on, bro.
you should not
Give
do
me
things.
Dark Cloud. Give me fucking. I don't know. Give me Maximo. Give me Twisted Metal Black. Give me something, bro. Give me something. Come on. God, I love Twisted Metal Black. That's a really good game.
Yeah, it's really, you don't have to do anything big. Like I said, you could just kind of stick out a bunch of those. Probably just even having them available would be,
So
you
I think
know,
Twisted Metal Black is, and I thought about buying it the other day, but then I like saw and like the quality is not there, and it's like, okay, well I'd rather just emulate it than on my Steam Deck. But it's like, I give us like put some effort in, and I'll give
Mhm.
you some money. As simple as that. Put some effort in, and give some money. It's not that hard.
Yeah, kind of like what I
Ratchet and
was.
Clank 1 and 2,
Yep,
3.
that would have been an easy one too.
Just fucking give me MotorStorm. I loved MotorStorm. I would play the fuck out of MotorStorm again. That game is awesome.
Oh, they're not going to spend the time to port over a PS3 game. You
I know
crazy.
because it's too difficult. They can't do it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, some
Yeah.
fucking kid and an old ass Windows 7 PC did it for them. I gotta literally play MotorStorm on my PC right now in 5 minutes, and these motherfuckers that are multi-billionaires can't put together a non-streaming version of their games, and it's just infuriating. Like, let me play your games again. It goes the same for Nintendo. I would love to play Pokemon Pinball. Let me play Pokemon Pinball, please.
That one,
No?
I'm
All right.
that one I'm sure will happen eventually.
Yeah.
It's just that they like to trickle feed things out. I actually was thinking it'd be fun just to kind of do, um, like because the stuff that they put out on the Nintendo Music Store each week is just so random. I was like, you know what? Maybe we should just do like 20 questions each week and see if you can guess what fucking game it is.
I'll do it right now. Fuck it.
Okay,
This is
do
a
it.
pretty short episode. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. 20 questions. Guess the game.
Okay. There's
This
a
one's
listen.
easier. This one's
Okay.
easier than last week's, I would say.
Okay.
So, all right.
So how does this work exactly?
20 questions. You played 20 questions
Okay,
before.
okay. So it's like no hints, no nothing. We're just starting there. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
And it's for
You got
this
already got a
week's
huge hit. You know
this
it's a
week's
Nintendo published game.
Nintendo
So
published game that has
yeah.
a song on their thing, or like what?
They just released the soundtrack for on Nintendo Music this week. So
Okay.
they've been releasing new each week since the platforms come out on Mondays. They've put out a new game for it. So
Do you drive a car or tank in this game?
no.
Okay,
Oddly specific for a Nintendo game, but yes.
it's not Blaster Master. That's what I was going for
No,
immediately
not
because I was
Blaster
thinking
Master.
the original one was Nintendo published, I believe. So
Mhm.
I think that was one of the black boxes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. It's just it was an old NES game. Oh yeah, is this an NES game?
no,
Oh, okay, that's two. Is this an N64 game?
no,
All right. Is this from the Mario franchise?
no,
Okay. Is it from Pokemon?
no.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's your five
Nintendo
questions now.
franchise. I know. I'm 5 in. I'm 5 in. Right?
15 left.
Yeah. Not NES. Not N64. Not Mario. Not Pokemon. And it's not Blaster Master. Okay, I'm just repeating all my answers so far.
Yes. Those are all the things you've learned so far.
Yep. Is this a Nintendo franchise that has released a game on Switch? Not counting the nope, hold on, because I know you're gonna fuck me. I'm not done with the sentence.
Okay.
Not counting Nintendo Online.
Like, is it an actual like franchise
like
on the Switch, but not Nintendo Online?
correct.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's just yes.
Okay, that was a pretty good amend that I made to that, right? Like that was a. I feel like you would have fucked me. I feel like you would have fucked me.
Because if it was, say, like Blaster Master and it was available on NES, then I would have been like, well, yes, I guess, technically. So,
yeah. Okay. Not Mario, not Pokemon. On the Switch. Not Super Nintendo. Wait, on the Switch. So it's not specifically from the Switch. I don't think.
You don't know. You have not determined this yet.
Okay. Is this a game that premiered on the Switch?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Okay.
So, like I said, once you get the right questions, you should be able to like whittle through this pretty quickly. Tricky thing is when it's like a much more obscure game. This one's definitely guessable.
I'm thinking it's ARMS. Is it ARMS?
No.
Damn. Okay. Damn it. Premiered on Switch. It's Nintendo. The rest of the shit doesn't really matter anymore. Oh. Okay. But you said it's not obscure.
Not obscure.
Okay. What number am I on? 8?
Yes.
Okay.
So you got 12 questions left. There's no way you can't get this.
Okay. And it premiered on Switch. So like that's a pretty big hint.
Well, I took that to mean, is it a Switch game? Yeah.
No, that's not what I meant. Like, did this game first come out on the Switch? That's what premiered means. Like the franchise hasn't existed before the Switch.
No. You just asked two different questions in your explanation.
Premiere.
Are you talking about the game?
Is...
No. I understand premiere.
Sorry.
Are you talking about the game or the franchise? The game is from the Switch.
I thought I said, and maybe I'm mistaken. I can't really rewind the tape, but I thought I said, did this franchise premiere on the Switch? I think that's what I said.
If you said franchise, I would have said no. I'm just giving you that as a freebie. So,
okay, all right. I swear to you, I think I said.
I think you just asked, did this premiere? I don't think you were specific to the game or the franchise.
Okay, thank you for the freebie then, because I was very confused.
Yeah,
and I would have been going down the wrong path, essentially. Okay, it didn't premiere on the Switch, so that means
the franchise.
The game did. The game did. Yes. Yeah. So it's the game for the.
It's an existing franchise. That should be your takeaway from that question.
Yes. Okay, let me ask another question now.
Okay.
Did this franchise start on the Wii U?
Yep.
All right. Is it Splatoon?
The franchises, but that's not the game.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I gotta guess one or two more. Is it Splatoon 2?
There you go. It only took you 11 questions.
All right. Let's go.
Super guessable.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be ARMS because I got confused and I thought like when I said the premiere that it was like a game that started on the Switch. So that's why I went straight to ARMS when I said that initially, because I was like thinking, okay, Splatoon started on the Wii U, so I jumped to ARMS, and then I was gonna go with like Astral Chain or
worked.
Like 1 2 3 1 2 switch or something like that.
That would have been.
I was thinking that was my line of thinking essentially, because I guess I got mixed up with the way I presented the question initially, which is probably my bad, but thank you for clarifying, because we would have been here all day.
Yeah, no, you never would have got it if you would have done that one. The one from last week, much harder. So
I see. Yeah, Splatoon has some great fucking music, so that's awesome.
Yeah, they already had Splatoon 3 on there available, so they just added Splatoon 2 there now, and I guess from what I've read, it includes the Octo expansion music as well.
Oh, that's nice. I really want to play the Octo expansion.
I liked Octo expansion a lot. I liked it a lot more than Side Order, which I
meant to say Side Order. Listen to me getting this shit confused. What is the expansion pass for 3 that exists right now?
That one's Side Order.
Okay, is that the only one that's on 3? Or
The
is there another one?
only one that is like a gameplay edition. The
Okay,
other one is like some like cosmetic things.
yeah, I want to play Side Order because
Mhm.
isn't that the one that is like
That's
a
the roguelike.
roguelike? Yeah,
Yeah.
I want
Mhm.
to play that. I want to play that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I never really finished it, but I liked it. So
Mm-hmm.
I liked Octo Expansion a lot though. Like I really dug that. I don't think Side Order is as good as that, but I did
Okay,
like it. Mhm. Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah. Well, we can do it every week because I think I saw some arbitrary number that Nintendo has like hundreds of games to release on this service. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're doing that. I kind of see like I'm part of a family plan, so I
Hmm.
don't think I can like listen to the music
I, I
myself.
I think you can.
Okay,
I'm
and that's
pretty
gonna
sure I
be
read
on
that
your
if you're at the family plan.
phone, correct?
Yeah, that's the only thing because you're like I don't use my phone that much. So
I could probably use BlueStacks and then then stream it on my computer.
what is that?
BlueStacks is an emulation for phones.
Oh, interestingly, one thing that I thought was really neat that they added in the most recent Mac update, it
Hmm.
is not emulation per se, but it lets you stream your phone to your computer.
Hmm.
So, like I there's literally a button like on my desktop that if I click it, it will unlock my phone and like just put like like the image right on the screen, and I can use it just like I would normally use a phone, like every feature. I thought it was kind of cool because you could just load it up and be like I mean, real theoretically, I could just open it up and do like put up say Animal Crossing and just kind of play
Okay.
it on my computer that way. Oh, actually, I just opened it up and that's what was on my phone, and there it is. It's just playing Animal Crossing right now. So
So like streaming it to your computer screen or your Mac screen or whatever, or like
yeah, mhm.
okay.
Yep. So it's literally just like a little kind of like window there that's like my phone size, and I can use the mouse to, in this game, control my character and pull up the map and everything. And yeah, it works just like it would on my phone, except it's on my computer screen instead of on my phone. And it's the same
Honestly, that's
size and
awesome.
everything. Yeah. There's,
Uh,
kind of same thought too. I could do the same thing and pull up, say, Nintendo Music
okay.
and just kind of do that. Like there it is, open up Nintendo Music, press the button, and now Splatoon 2 music's playing because that's what I was listening to on the way home. So yeah, it works really nice.
That is awesome.
Hmm.
I guess I got another piece of news because I just
Sure.
saw it on my timeline.
Hmm.
X Defiant will be shutting down next year. Servers go
Oh,
offline in June 2025.
did not see that, but not surprised because that seemed to be the writing on the wall for that game.
Ubisoft has kind of been failing it up. Like they can't get anything right now. I feel like Ubisoft will probably be bought out by someone if the new
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed fails, especially since it's been delayed twice now.
Yeah, I think they're really just like we want to make sure we don't fuck this up. So, which should have been that should have been the decision in the first place instead of
Hmm.
trying to be like Assassin's Creed, because literally what they're doing right now is like they're literally just surviving on Assassin's Creed and they're just devoting all of their resources to it, all of
Oh, they
them.
had that Star Wars game that they failed miserably with that came
Hmm.
out this year. In case you
Yeah,
didn't know. Um,
no, I did because I saw the message from I can't think of his name right now, his full name, like Eves, the head of Ubisoft, who basically was
mm,
like, yeah, we need to stop putting out games that are shit and fixing them later and maybe just fix them in the first place so that they people are more willing to embrace them when they come out. They're
yep.
like, yeah, no shit, especially for a multiplayer game. Like
Hmm.
that's not, you don't want to be fucking around with that after it comes out. You already, if you are, you already lost your audience. So like that shit needs to be ready to go and fun and enjoyable on day one. And then you still have to bust your ass to make sure it stays enjoyable. You
Yeah, I
shouldn't
think the
be.
problem was it staying enjoyable. I played X Defiant. I thought it was fun for
Mhm.
like a month, maybe like a few weeks, and then I was like,
Yeah,
no, I'm good.
yeah, exactly. Like those that first few weeks after one of those kind of games comes out is like critical. And if you fuck up that, then you killed the game. Like it's I don't know. It's literally like because if you don't have it there on day one, you're gonna lose that initial base. Once they're gone, then people are gonna come in and be like, no one's playing. I'm not playing this either, or I'm just not gonna buy it because no one's playing.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's very kind of it
Well,
just
it was a
feeds
free
into
to play
itself.
game, but yeah,
Well, yeah, but still, people aren't playing it. Then you're not gonna
yeah,
spend
exactly.
money
So
on it,
there's
and you're
no
not gonna
reason.
download it.
There's no
Yeah.
reason to download it. Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully they get their shit turned around, but I agree with you. They're on death's door. If they're literally like, what are they trying to do? 6 Assassin's Creed games like per year or something ridiculous? Like it's just too much.
I think they have
Um,
3 that they're making right now.
I think the actual number in development's higher than that, but I don't recall enough to even like say. But I want to say I feel like the number was 4 to 6 was what
Jesus
the
Christ.
yeah. It was so much. I'm like, you just like I understand that it's really propping your company up. Probably same
Hmm.
thing with Just Dance. But you really need to kind of diversify a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, because once you oversaturate the Assassin's Creed market, then what are you gonna do? Nothing, because you got nothing else. Yeah. So there's that. Otherwise, though, I think that's all I got. I don't think I have anything else exciting.
Yeah, I think I'm good too.
Okay, ready to wrap up then?
Yep.
Okay. Well then, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to check out all of our old episodes, they're available on game-crunch.com. Or if you want to send us an email, you can reach out to us at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon,
Hello.
any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's it. My name is Mike Anastasia. I'm online. I'm Clash of Pain there or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
In a realm where pixels shine, Game Crunch world where we unwind. Magic powers at our call, digital dreams we stand tall. Levels high, we reach the sky. Monsters fall with every try. Heroes born in code and art, winning battles, playing smart. Game on, we conquer all. Game on, we rise and fall. Game on, in this fantasy, Game Crunch sets us free. Hidden secrets, treasures rare. Glowing forest, dragon's lair. With a joystick as our sword, we find magic. Press record. Puzzles crack with every clue. Pathways open, worlds anew. Goblin's cave, beasts of might. Game Crunch shining in the night. Game on, we conquer all. Game on, we rise and fall. Game on, in this fantasy, Game Crunch sets us free. Game on, we conquer all. Game on, we rise and fall. Game on in this fantasy. Game Crunch sets us free. Game on, we conquer all. Game on, we rise and fall. Game on in this fantasy. Game Crunch sets us free. Hidden secrets, treasures rare. Glowing forest, dragon's lair. With a joystick as our sword, we find magic. Press record. Puzzles crack with every clue. Pathways open, worlds anew. Goblin's cave, beasts of might. Game Crunch shining in the night. Game on, we conquer all. Game on, we rise and fall. Game on, in this fantasy, Game Crunch sets us free.
had an idea for a game debate topic that I was like, oh, it
Go
might be
on.
fun to do it as a list, but I don't know if we want to do it list. It might be fun just to maybe just kind of hash it out instead. But I saw a YouTube video the other day, and they were talking about old games that really like aged well, and I was like, oh, that
Okay.
was an interesting kind of topic just to kind of look back at games that just maybe older. I would say, and when I say like old games that age well, it's got to be at least 2 generations old, like not this generation or last
Like
generation. It's gotta be
PS3,
old.
like
Yeah,
that sort of
PS3
thing.
or older.
Okay.
Yeah, and talk about those.
I think there's
Um,
a lot of PlayStation 3 games that aged very well.
yeah, I think PlayStation 3 is probably where things really started to get
I think PS2 games also
consistent.
aged incredibly well.
Some do,
That's
some don't. There's some PlayStation games that people like have a lot of nostalgia for. I hate. But it's
you about to
mostly
are you about to say Shadow of the Colossus?
um Shadow of the Colossus is not a hate game. Ico is more of a hate game. Um
Oh, okay,
that
you're one of
game
those.
that game
I
did
okay.
not age well.
Here's the thing. I understand
Mhm.
Ico. I do understand Ico. Ico is a very literally handholdy, have to constantly force what the fuck is that called? It is one of the worst game types ever, and it's the entire game where you lead someone around.
Oh, like a escort mission kind of style.
It's an escort mission. The entire game is an escort mission. So I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah, and although I think if I remember, I think more of my issue is actually just kind of like just really the controls were just not as responsive as you needed for like the stuff you were doing.
I mean, there was a
Um,
PS3 remake of Ico that was really good. The
I think that's
controls
what I
were way
played.
better. Oh, okay. Well,
Actually, no, I
damn.
know that's what I played. I did not play it on the original game. I
Yikes.
played the remake.
Okay, the original game was worse than the PS3 version.
Great.
Yikes.
That would be an example of a game that, like it's an important game. Like, don't get me wrong. Like the game is a very important game for video games, but I just don't think it aged well. And kind of the same thing. Like there are ones like you could probably say the same thing for because we've had this discussion before, like Mario 64. Like definitely there's a group of people that do really enjoy that game, but for some probably did not age very well. But then there are other
Yeah.
games that did age very well. Like some are on my list. I would say my 600 list. But you think about stuff like NES games, like there's some stuff there that just aged really well.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger, also a great example. Actually,
Incredible game.
a lot of Square's kind of like SNES games aged very
Yeah.
well.
They were so good.
Yeah. Super Mario RPG, Chrono
Yep.
Trigger, Final Fantasy 4 and 6. All examples of games that age
Final
very
Fantasy
well.
6 is just one of the best games of all time, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would even arguably say, stuff on like there's some N64 games that I think aged, pretty reasonably well for different reasons.
Really?
Yeah.
That one's
Yeah.
going to be interesting to discuss because I think most N64 games aged very poorly. There's like a few that I would give you, which I wonder if they would be in your list. But
I
yeah.
don't know. I haven't really thought too much over it before this.
All right, can I say one and see if
like,
you agree?
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I'd say probably. I didn't really like
because I think Banjo-Kazooie is a better version of Donkey Kong 64 because it's not as bloated and busy work. It's a game, it's a collectathon, but it's not ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
Donkey Kong
it's
64
just
is
enough.
absolute garbage.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64 aged like fucking milk. It's garbage. It is trash.
Yeah. No, that game did not age well.
Not at all. Not at all.
No. And yeah, that one.
You know what
Banjo,
did
I would
age well?
say a little bit better. Yeah.
The Donkey Kong Country games. All of them. Every
Yes.
single one of them.
Spoiler alert, Donkey Kong Country 2 is the random shit game that I was like, I'll wait till next week.
Nice.
So I'm like,
I guess next week would be perfect for it then, huh?
Yeah, actually.
Because we're probably going to bring it back up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that game is one that I had just kind of, I don't know why, I just had an inclination to play a Donkey Kong game, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna boot one up. So I did.
Yeah.
That one I think aged really well. Yeah, stuff like that. I guess another good N64 game, I think Conker's Bad Fur Day aged very well.
Really?
Mm-hmm. gameplay wise, I think I probably should specify this is specifically more about gameplay. Like obviously people's opinions are going to vary a lot on say like art aesthetic and things like that, but gameplay I think is.
I actually think the gameplay might be the worst part.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Conkers is a game that you can play on the Rare Replay, and I played it like a few years ago, and I was like, "Holy shit, this controls like ass," because it does. Like especially like the gun segments. The gun segments are awful in that game, and there's a lot of them. Like from the Saving Private Ryan bit and the Matrix bit. I don't know, man. I feel like Conkers is one of the ones that aged like fucking milk.
Oh, see, I disagree. But maybe it's possible I could just be overlooking some of it with nostalgia. It's been a while since I played it. Last time I played it was on one of the Rare replays. But hey, this would be a good discussion. So.
Yeah, it's like one of my 3 worst aged games, I think, on N64. I think it would be GoldenEye, Donkey Kong 64, and then Conker. And I'm serious, and it hurts so bad because
see, I would even maybe put GoldenEye in the aged well category.
No, you're wrong. No. Absolutely fucking hit record right now. We're about to talk for an hour. Ain't no fucking way you just said GoldenEye aged well. Brother in Christ, no fucking way.
For what it is and the stuff that you do with it, and like for the multiplayer stuff, I think it's timeless. But yeah, that could be something we would discuss. I don't know if I would actually care enough to hold that discussion.
We need that discussion because me as an FPS gamer who is very highly into first-person shooters, there are many things about that game that did not age well. The easiest way to see how poorly that game aged was to play it right now on Xbox Series X or S, or to play it on the Nintendo Switch Online. It's very easy to see how poorly that game aged by doing that.
For some things, yeah. But I also think, as strange as this sounds, I think the way it's built, you almost have to play it with like an N64 controller, kind of the way it's designed to be played. The control, when I played it with just regular Switch controls, it fucking sucked. When I played it with the N64 controller, much better. Mm-hmm. And I do agree though, in terms of controls fucking shit, because it was a single analog first person shooter. But some of the things that did well, like I said, I don't know if it's something I would include.
I think it borrowed heavily a lot of things from Deus Ex, like the mission structure elements of it and everything. And I think that works really well. I think Perfect Dark aged incredibly well. I don't think GoldenEye did.
Yeah, arguably, I think Perfect Dark probably aged a little bit better. For sure.
I like Perfect Dark also. Perfect Dark, I think, is a really good game still.
I think if there's any other N64 games, I would be like, yeah, this aged really well. Actually, Ocarina of Time. I think that one is definite.
I think both Ocarina and Majora's Mask are good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they aged totally fine.
Yeah, because honestly, with those ones, you just slap kind of like what they did with the 3DS. You just slap a nicer graphics on it, and it's like.
Oh, you know what? N64 games aged amazingly and are still timeless. The Mario Party and Mario Kart games, they're great. Yeah. They're still great. Every single one of them.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Well, except for maybe the Mario Party 3. I don't like that one, but that's just, I think, more of a taste thing.
So my thing is, yeah, I understand. If it's more of a taste thing, I get that. But at the end of the day, it still aged well. That's my main point.
Yeah, anyone can still pick it up and play it the same as they would
and not be like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with this? And I actually think that goes for most of the Mario games that aren't 3D Mario games, because Mario, Paper Mario, sure. Bro, Diddy Kong Racing is still so good. Holy shit. Good?
That's excellent.
Oh, I love Diddy Kong Racing. I was looking I just found this thing that said authentic games you pick and choose bundle, and I'm looking through this guy's entire set of games, and I'm just sitting here damn, some of these are absolute bangers. I think I'm sitting here, I'm like, Mario Tennis is still good. Mario Party is still good. Pretty much all of the Mario sports games that were on N64 are still fantastic. Mario Golf. Mario Golf is fantastic. And then they have in the bottom left-hand corner, Snowboard Kids. That game's awesome.
I would say, yeah, the other sports stuff like Wave Race and 1080, I
Mm-hmm,
think did well too. Yeah, those are good examples. Trying to think what other ones they had on the 64. I feel like I'm missing some big things. F-Zero, I think, actually aged pretty well, although
F-Zero
I never really
is
played it.
still great.
Mhm.
I
Although
have
the
that
GameCube
installed
one's
on my...
even better.
Yeah. We're just having this conversation now. We should probably stop.
I know. We'll go through them all. We'll be like, we already talked about this shit. Yeah, like 2 weeks ago after an
We stop
episode.
recording? I mean, because they just splice it in there.
And it is still recording, but I'll probably just leave that as like the teaser at the end of the episode.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, that's so kind of food to wet your whistle, and we could use that as a game debate episode because it seems like already there's plenty to talk about.
There really is. When you think about it, like you think about N64 as a whole, and you're like, damn, that system didn't age well. But then when you start talking about shit like this, it's like, oh, actually,
yeah,
hold up,
Mhm.
wait a minute.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. So, yeah, so we can look at stuff like that and kind of see and go from there. I don't know if we should take it system by system or just play it by ear, but we can figure that out when we get there. Nah.
I think there's some that we'll have to like tackle as system by system. I think the two big ones are PSX and N64, because I do think those are in a very middle ground where it's like you think about those two systems and you're like, damn, those did not age well. When you think about some things, and some of those things are like big name titles that like have kicked off franchises. Like for instance, the original Silent Hill. I still think that game looks great. I still think it plays great. However, anyone who doesn't have my brain rot would be like, this game plays like shit. So it's like, I know it didn't age well, but there's something endearing about it. You know, I don't know.
I think you could also argue the same for similar reasons, Game Boy Color. I think those can kind of have some of that same.
Yeah, and also like I think, and this is a really crazy one to bring out, but Silent Hill for me on PSX is probably everyone on N64's thoughts on Mario 64, because like people are like, the Mario 64 aged really well, and it's like you look at it in a vacuum and you actually think about it, and you're like, this game did not age well at all, but it has so much tied to it that you're just like, I get it. I don't care. This game's really good, and that's how I feel about Silent Hill 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. What was I going to say though? Yeah, we'll have to figure out what systems we want to go to for comparatively. So we said what, 2 generations? So not 5, not 4.
Yeah. We basically dropped the Xbox One, the Wii U, the Switch, and the PS4 and 5, right?
Yeah, so that would mean like GameCube would be reasonable.
Yep.
The only thing that I think
PS3,
the only thing that's kind of weird though is because if we do it like that, that would mean that the most advanced Nintendo. Oh no, it would be the Wii. So yeah, because we would have Wii, but we wouldn't have Yeah, because we wouldn't do Switch and we wouldn't do Wii U, but we would have Wii, and then we would have.
We have 3DS,
PS5, PS4, PS3. Yeah.
You'd have 3DS or no? Because 3DS lasted a very long time.
3DS did last a very long time, but I also think it's really the Switch. The Switch is a successor to that and the Wii U, so I think we would have to not do the 3DS. But I think the DS would be fair.
DS, original DS is fine.
Yeah, because I think that.
Because I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'll let you rack your brain around a little bit. 3 of my favorite games of all time all came from the Wii.
Oh, that's reasonable.
And that's the one that I said I wanted to do the whole franchise.
Oh. Wait, 1, 2, and 3 on the Wii?
No, 3 didn't come from the Wii, but 1 and 2 did.
Oh, you're talking about No More Heroes?
Absolutely. No More Heroes is one of my favorite franchises. What?
2's your favorite?
2 is my favorite, yes.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
What do you mean, what the fuck is wrong with me?
That's the worst of the 3.
No, it isn't. That's the best of the 3.
No, it's the worst of the 3.
2's got the mini games that are in like the NES style. 2's got the fucking all the like boss rushes. 2's got the really interesting world, but it's not open world. It's just like it's linear. it's like you go from place to place, and it's able the story that's in 2 is much less convoluted because I don't have to deal with the fluff of the open world aspects of it, which didn't really work that well in No More Heroes 1. Like, it's fine, but like it didn't work that well. And in No More Heroes 3, it doesn't work that well either. But in 2, everything's just condensed in a way that it's just banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. It's just constantly good missions, and all the fluff is gone. And then if you need to earn extra money, you've got little mini games that are like something out of WarioWare. It's fucking great. It's one of my favorites.
There was something I like definitively did not like about that game. Like that, I don't remember
If
what
you
it
could
is,
figure it out, I'd like to have you bring it to the table because we're definitely going to be discussing it later on in
apparently.
2 episodes.
Yeah. Well, think on it. I don't remember what it was, but I remember there was something that I've like really, because I remember even last time I picked it up, it was like, because the things that you mentioned, it was like, it was very refreshing compared to the first one.
Yeah.
And some of them I remembered, and some of them I didn't before going in.
I recently played all of them again, and I almost play all of them every year. So
Have you finally beat 3 yet, or no?
God, no, dude, it's so hard to go through that game. Mostly because it doesn't run very well on anything, and I might finally finish it when I pick it up on PS5, but have it on PC. They want to give me the trouble of having like input lag, and then the problem of the game not working on Steam Deck. Gee, thanks, fucker. I have it on Switch. It's a Switch, right? I don't really need to say much more than that. It's a Nintendo Switch. It's gonna run like dog shit because that's just kind of the Switch. I think it might be on Xbox now. Now that I think about it, if it's on Xbox, I'll just install it and play it. Let me go check that right now. Wow, this has gone on a massive tangent.
Yeah.
No More Heroes. No More Heroes 3 is on Game Pass. All right, I'm installing it.
There you go.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
Play through the entire thing on Game Pass. There we go.
Easy peasy.
But my main thing that I'm saying is I think 2 is my favorite, and I don't know what you didn't like about 2, and I'm so confused.
Yeah, there was something that I definitively
most of the people that tell me like I don't like that it wasn't open world anymore, and I'm like, that's the reason I like it so much.
No, that is a bonus. Like, that is a good thing, because that was what I agree with you. It was one of the worst parts of No More Heroes 1. But I know I really didn't like the story for 2, but that I
love the story. The story for 2 is fantastic. What are you talking about?
It's stupid. But it's Suda, so I mean, what do you expect? All of his stuff's crazy. But I don't remember what it was. I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll
get back to me.
Maybe I'll come back to
it. We just gave like the little hints at our upcoming episodes, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Things for people to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly.